Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, Episode 13, Love by Any Other Name. So we're just going to get on to it. Before we start, I do apologize. I was supposed to do a Catfish rewatch review last week. I was so mentally and physically not feeling well last week. It was just a lot going on last week. So I do apologize for that. I'll be sure to get on into that this week. But I will say over the weekend, I did start watching the show on Netflix called Love on the Spectrum. It was pretty interesting. I might look into that a little bit more. I might even do some rewatches and cover that for you guys while we wait for more of my other shows, more 90 Day shows to come out, and whenever Married at First Sight comes back. But anyway, let's get on into the episode. The first couple I want to talk is freaking Sarper and Shekinah. Now, I have said in the last couple of weeks that Sarper and Shekinah have been growing on me a little bit. And now Sarper is just going back to his old ways. So the last couple of weeks, they've been fighting and everything. And, Sarper's just been in and out the house so much and everything, and then sleeping on the couch and stuff or whatever. Finally, in this episode, I guess they had makeup sex. Okay, whatever. But that doesn't mean everything is solved and everything. They're still having communication problems and everything. They were talking at this park or whatever, and I guess Sarper wanted Shekinah to touch him, and she wouldn't touch him, and then he's like, when you don't touch me, you act like the B word and everything. And I'm just this dude is just so degrading to women and everything and stuff. And he just thinks he's God's given man to woman and Shekinah on earth. And he's just so full of himself. And once again, he's just one of those dudes that ain't nothing. He ain't jack. So anyway, later we seen Shekinah actually made a decision for him to finally move her workspace out of that kitchen and into an actual office, into another office area, so Sarper doesn't have to leave. Because remember, whenever Shekinah has clients around, Sarper has to leave the house. And so she got an office, and she had some kind of handyman come in and fix it up for her and everything or whatever. And so Sarper comes in while they were working on that stuff, and he got slightly jealous and everything because I guess the dude was kind of good looking or whatever, and he was saying like in Turkey, if the handyman was bent down and his rear end was showing and everything, that's a problem. And she kind of said, well, if that was to happen here, I wouldn't hire him and everything. And Sarper asked, was he wearing in Turkey they wear belts, and she kind of was like, he's wearing a belt. Sarper was like, well, how do you know that? And I was just like, oh my God. So Shekinah really did something for him to finally move her workspace to an actual office so he don't have to leave the house anymore and everything. And he's still whining and stuff. So anyway, later they decide to go to a comedy club. I guess Sarper likes to do stand-up comedy and stuff and everything. And there was he had a show where it was amateur night basically to do some comedic stuff. They get to the club, and they meet up with Shekinah's friends, including her ex-boyfriend Dan. Dan came, and Sarper was just not too thrilled to see him, because what happened last time when he met Dan, Dan kind of still has feelings for Shekinah, and he thinks that he's a better fit for Shekinah than Sarper and everything. So he's a little jealous and everything, and Sarper just does not like him at all. So, he shook his hand, but, it was whatever. So they go to the club, and Sarper gets up and does his stand-up routine, and it was not funny at all. I did not laugh. He just kept on making jokes about women and men, and then he took a shot at Dan. He's like, every man in here, including you, Dan, or something like that, and whatever. Just took an ignorant jab at him, and it just wasn't funny. Dan got mad at Shekinah, like feeling like she set him up, and she was like, "No, I did not set you up for this. I didn't know he was gonna do that." And Shekinah was just like, that was not right for you to take a jab at Dan like that." That was embarrassing, and it was not funny and stuff. Well, Sarper says, well, Dan disrespected me the first time and everything, and maybe he did. I'm not saying he didn't, but two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right, and that was actually more embarrassing than what he did, basically, and stuff. So he's just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I was just saying he was starting to grow on me. Now he's back to his old, arrogant, pompous self, basically. So yeah, I'm done with him. Next couple I want to talk is Jessica and Juan. So Jessica and Juan. Now last week, as we know, Juan has been like cruise life homesick from the cruise line. He and Jessica are getting ready to have their bachelor and bachelorette party out in South Dakota with all of Jessica's friends. And I guess Juan's cousin came to town, is in town for the wedding that he hadn't seen in a while. And they had an emotional meeting and stuff and reuniting and stuff and everything. Juan opened up to him about wanting to go back on the cruise line and everything to do another contract and stuff for 8 months and everything. But scared to tell Jessica. And so the whole wedding party basically goes out to Mount Rushmore and everything. And Juan wasn't really impressed with that with Mount Rushmore and stuff. But they all had fun. It was cold and raining and stuff and everything. But then they were like, okay, let's hit the club. Basically, let's get to the club. So they all get to the club and everything, and just had their fun. I guess the boys had an adult dancer. Basically, she took off her top and stuff and everything. Jessica gave him permission to look and everything, just behave and everything and all that. Jessica got drunk and everything. So, it was just like your typical average American bachelor or bachelorette party. So later, Jessica, they go back to the hotel room and Jessica's drunk, and apparently Juan didn't even get drunk and everything. And he wanted to have a serious conversation with Jessica while she was drunk about wanting to go back to the cruise line. And she's like, we were going to have this conversation when I'm drunk. And he's like, yes. And she told him if you want to go, the choice is yours. If you want to go and be away from your family, go. But this is just not fair to me and everything. You need to figure out what you really want to do with your life, basically. Because I'm sick of it. I'm tired of this back and forthness with all that. So yeah, I agree with Jessica. Everybody's on one side. I'm actually on Jessica's side on that, because I think that we worked so hard to get you here, and you have a kid now. So I understand the cruise life was your thing, but maybe later, let's at least get you guys married first. Let's get all your paperwork done, and then we'll consider it. He was like, well, what about Jessica? Mentioned what about a bartender? Whenever you get your work ID, he's like, yeah, but that ain't gonna make much, and that's still not the cruise life style. So yeah, he has a lot of thinking to do. So yeah, but that was Jessica and Juan. Next couple I want to talk is Mark and Mina. Now they're a few days out of their wedding, and throughout the whole season, it's been really emotional for Mina and stuff and everything. They're still trying to get Clayton here. I don't Mark. Mina cooked Mark some pancakes because it was Mark's 59th birthday, basically, and she made him some pancakes that looked like crepes and everything, and just with the chocolate syrup, just sprayed 59 on it and stuff. And so they went out and everything, and they had a conversation about Clayton, Mina's son, that still hasn't been able to get his passport to come here. I guess Mina's brother or sister or whatever, from Brussels is coming in for the wedding. And I guess Clayton has a chance now to still come to America and stuff and everything, because Mina said that she's not going to be able to get married without Clayton here. And judging by an old preview that I saw, I think that Clayton is not going to make it in for the wedding. So I don't know how Mina's going to deal with it. But, but Mark said that to Mina, that like if you go back to France, Maria, their baby already, is staying with me. And I mean, it's like, wait, what? No, the kid always stays with the mom when stuff like that happens. And Mark was like, not always. There's a lot of times when the kid stays with the father and stuff and everything. Because Maria is a U.S. citizen, we didn't have to do all of this for Maria, but we had to do this for Clayton and everything. So it was just like whatever. So then later, they meet up and they're talking and stuff, and they're talking about the prenup. Mina told Mark that she will sign the prenup on one condition: that Mark adopts Clayton. And Mark was just like, I was already planning on doing that. And once he said that, Mina, this is the first time I see Mina like fully smile and be excited. She was so excited. Oh my God, yes, we're going to be a big happy family. Yay, I'm so happy and everything. And, Mark was emotional about it because I feel like I'm failing him though already because I'm sorry that this happened to where he's not here right now and everything. But I do plan on adopting him because he is a good kid and stuff and everything. So I'm glad that worked out and that. So that was the first time I see Mina that excited and stuff and everything. So I really hope they can get the son here. And Mina, now I don't want to jinx myself, but knock on wood, but Mina is even growing on me a little bit too. So it was good to see that. So yeah, that was Mark and Mina. And the next couple I want to talk is Stevie and Maddie. So now they're 3 days out from their wedding. And yeah. Yeah. So they're going to New Orleans to get married, and they're gonna have their bachelor and bachelorette party and stuff and everything. And one of Maddie's good friends came in from California, that's gonna be here for the wedding. They met up with him and stuff and everything. First, there were some wedding dresses that Stevie had tried on. And she actually tried them on in front of Maddie, which was kind of weird because he's not supposed to really see the wedding dress until the wedding and stuff and everything. I don't know. And so she put on a dress and he said that she looked old. Yeah, that's real nice to say about your future wife, bro, that she looks old. I mean, she didn't take offense to it, but, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. So, she just packed everything up, and then they went to New Orleans. They met up with Maddie's friend from California. And, Maddie told him his concerns about Stevie, and the big concerns is she bisexual? Because he still can't get over the painting of the girl nude and stuff. He knew that Stevie paints nude portraits and stuff and everything. But he was taken aback when he actually had a lie when he found out that she did a live painting of somebody nude and stuff and everything. So he keeps questioning her sexuality and stuff and everything. Now, with Stevie is just not saying she's just saying no to just to end a conversation. But she needs to come out and just say, I am not bisexual, Stevie. She just keeps saying no, and that's it, and get over it. But I'm starting to maybe see a little bit where he's coming from because she's still being vague with it. She needs to just come out and say, no, Maddie, I am not bisexual. I never had anything with a woman and stuff and everything. I have a unique, hobby that I do, yes, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm here for you, blah, 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 and everything. So Maddie tells his friend all about that. And then so the friend had a conversation with Stevie and saying, well, like voicing his concerns, like, oh, Maddie has sacrificed everything, and Stevie was just like, oh, I sacrificed a lot too, and not just him and everything. And she was just like taken aback because he was just coming on like really judgmental, and even Maddie was like, when Stevie came back to meet them, Maddie was like, oh shoot, I think I over talked too much about this because now he's probably going to talk to Stevie and like have like a big assumption for him, and then might screw some things up. And we're just a couple days away from the wedding. I'm like, duh, duh, dude. Like, so Stevie's just like, what did Maddie tell you, basically? And everything. So I don't know. Like I do think this is like a situation that the producers keep egging on just to have a storyline, basically, and everything. But I don't think there's anything wrong overall with Stevie and Maddie. I don't think they'll be unhappily ever after, but I do think that they're gonna be okay. Maybe. So yeah, that was Stevie and the Maddie. And last couple I want to talk is freaking Matt and Ameni. So Matt and Ameni are still in Mexico. They're meeting up with Annie's ex-boyfriend Ray. They come to the restaurant, and Ray tells them like his side of that relationship when he was with Annie. He said they were together up until like November, December of 2022 and everything. He did open an account. Like, she has multiple kids. I thought she just had one, but she actually has multiple kids. And Ray actually has met the other kids. And Ameni was actually kind of shocked. That Matt and Ameni were shocked about it. Like dang, like their relationship was way more advanced than ours is right now. We only just met one kid, basically. And here was the thing that we're all been waiting for. Ameni had asked him, like, where did you guys meet? And he's like, at the club, and she was working. So Annie, also known as you may know, Brenda. I'm like, who the hell is Brenda? And I guess, like, Brenda is possibly her real name. I guess it was on her ID. Minnie did say on Instagram that Brenda is not her stage name. So I don't know what that. So now Minnie is just like what the heck and everything. Like her name is Brenda. Like what the heck and everything. And then the ex-boyfriend Ray was like, well, did you know she was married before? And they said, yeah, we knew she was married. But what they don't know is that she's actually still legally married. Annie is still legally married. Matt and Ameni want a divorce so they could bring Annie here, but Annie's not even divorced herself. I told y'all, I've been telling y'all all season, Annie is playing games. Like she is playing both of them and stuff. She is just not the right person to be in this throuple. I'm done judging. I'm not judging the throuple thing. Like I did enough judging of that in the beginning of the season. Now I'm like judging the actual relationship. Like just like if it was a normal one. Annie is playing games. Now I see why Ameni is the way she is, because Annie is just not doing nothing. She's a good-looking girl and everything. That's probably getting her this far, but she is playing games, and I just don't have it to do with her. So Ameni calls Annie and says, please come to the restaurant right now. And Annie comes, and Ameni was just like, hello, Brenda. And we left off with the cliffhanger on that. I'm just like, Annie. Like I said, I cannot wait to talk to them. I really can't wait to talk to them. Because this is just, Matt was right when he told me that this was going to be a bumpy ride. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was Matt, Minnie, and Annie. We did not see Greg and Joan or Sean and Aaliyah. Thank God, it was just Sean and Aaliyah and stuff. So yeah, they'll be back next week. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. I hope all the mothers, by the way, had a happy Mother's Day yesterday. We love you, moms, and God bless you for all the things that you do for us. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be back on this week to talk some to do a Catfish rewatch or talk about some other shows and just get some ideas because I need some more ideas for this channel. This is the first time since I started this channel that I'm kind of like only doing one show, one video a week and stuff, and I don't like it. I want to keep bringing content to you guys so we can keep this channel growing and stuff. But anyway, that's the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.